Hello students, I am your course instructor Dr. Chaya Biyam, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. So in this video, we will be looking into what is code sharing, what is code sharing problem, what are the methods to overcome code sharing problem. What is a code sharing? It is nothing but sharing of a code or a subroutine or a program by two or more tasks. Generally, in a multitasking operating system or a multitasking system, each task must have its own copy of subroutine. Actually, it should have own copy. For example, T1 should have its own copy of subroutine S. T2 must have its own copy of its subroutine S. This can be any piece of code. Or some mechanism must be provided to prevent one program corrupting or interfering with the use of code by the another task. So code sharing is that if T1 and T2 it doesn't has its own copy and it tries to share the same subroutine S at the same time. This is code sharing. Code sharing problem illustration. Code sharing means that two tasks share the same subroutine S. For example, if a task A is currently executing, so during the execution of the program, it makes a call in order to use the subroutine S. So before it finishes its execution, a rescheduling will happen and some event occurs in order for task B to execute. Now the task B starts executing and calls for the same subroutine S that was used by task A. So we should remember that, so this rescheduling has happened while this S data was executing. It has not still completed its execution. However, now a task B event has occurred and now it is executing. This subroutine S, after the completion, it returned back to the position where it was interrupted, and again the rescheduling will also be done to begin to use at the position where subroutine was interrupted, and this subroutine also executes. Again a proper return is being made. Though the return is being made at the correct position, the locally held data have been changed here. For the S data A, locally held data have been changed after this rescheduling. So this will end up getting an error output because this subroutine would contain the data relevant to B instead of the data relevant to A, and task B end up getting the correct response. This is a common code sharing problem faced when two tasks share the same subroutine S. Methods to overcome code sharing problem. So there are two methods used. First one is serially reusable code and re-entrant code. Serially reusable code. So this is one of the method to overcome the code sharing problem. So two tasks, task A and task B, are attempting to use the subroutine S. So in this condition we can see that a locking mechanism is placed, a lock is introduced at the beginning of the subroutine S, such that if any task already using the subroutine, for example if a task A is already using the subroutine, task B cannot use that subroutine until task A unlocks it. Task A, if it has to use the subroutine, first it locks. Okay, this locking mechanism has been introduced. So it locks the subroutine, it completes its execution, then it unlocks. After the usage of the subroutine, it unlocks. Until it unlocks, task B cannot access. This is serially reusable code. It means that reusing of the subroutine S code one after the other. Re-entrant code. So re-entrant code is another method to overcome the code sharing problem. In this, parallelly we can use task A and task B in order to access the subroutine S. So if task A wants to access, we assume this is a task A and task B. So this is the task descriptor for A, which holds the data relevant to task A, task descriptor B, which holds the data relevant to task B. So the subroutine S, both are used, the subroutine S can be used by both the tasks concurrently, both are using at the same time. So how the arrangement is made? The subroutine S is coded in such a way that it does not hold any data within it. So all the intermediate results will be saved in its associated stack. We can see that this is the stack for A, this is the stack for task B. So we'll have a pointer to the stack here. So this is TD will have a pointer to the task A, TD will have pointer to the task B. So all the intermediate results will be saved in its associated stack with the task. Then this subroutine is said to be reentrant. That is, all the access to the data by the subroutine will be done through the stack. Hence, it will automatically manipulate the correct data. Both end up getting the correct response because it automatically manipulates the correct data. This mechanism is called as reentrant. So to summarize this video, we understood what is code sharing. So in general, we know what is code sharing. Code sharing means that if T1 and T2 wants to share the same subroutine S, so what is the problem we are facing? So that is code sharing problem. The problem is that so when any task is executing while there is a rescheduling or an event occurring by some other task, though it ends up resuming back to the correct place, the locally held data have been changed and it will reflect the information processed within the subroutine by another task. So the locally held data will change. So this is the common problem what we are facing in the code sharing. Okay, so how to overcome this problem? We understood the two methods. One is serially reusable code. Serially reusable, it is just that we are using some locking mechanism. Where we lock the subroutine. Only if it unlocks it, it can be accessed by some other task. So second method is reentrant code. Reentrant code means that the subroutine S is acting as a pure code wherein it does not hold any data within it. Does not hold any data within it. Every intermediate result will be saved in its associated stacks. Okay, this is a concept on what is code sharing, what are the methods to overcome code sharing problem.